I have to say it's about goddamn time, because we're starting to see a resurgence suddenly within the arcade scene, all through the idea of barcades. So essentially you go and you take liquor, you take arcade games, combine them together, and that's a fucking awesome ass time. As a matter of fact, one of the ones that I got to go and experience that I loved a whole bunch was whenever I went and shot my ass all the way over to Portland. Got to go to Ground Control, and I fucking loved that. It's pretty awesome. Pinball machines, arcade games, whether you're playing fighting games or you're going and pulling out a gun in like Time Crisis or Virtual Cop or House of the Dead or some shit, going and playing the X-Men or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat-em-up games. All of that stuff is awesome as hell, and Namco Bandai is jumping in on something like this by making their own Pac-Man themed restaurant. Though naturally it's actually going to be, you know, a little more varied than that, but essentially the main core of it is going to be Pac-Man since it's such an iconic character, and it makes a lot of sense. So they're going to be calling this Level 257. Anybody who's, like, savvy within the Pac-Man universe will actually go and recognize that throughout all the arcade levels and stuff. But this is going to show up in Chicago, which I'd say you motherfuckers are lucky as shit. Here in Pittsburgh, we have, like, next to nothing. So it's kind of sad. It's like, you got Dave and Buster's, and that's really about it. But they're going to end up opening up Level 257 sometime next year, and this is going to have all sorts of shit inside of it other than Pac-Man themed stuff. They're going to have actual bowling lanes, like retro-style bowling lanes, which I thought that was cool. They're going to have table tennis, they're going to have board games, they're going to have old school and new school arcade games, and it makes me wonder if Namco Bandai is going to be enlisting the aid of somebody like Sega, since Sega's very big in the arcade scene. But Namco Bandai has like tons of random shit. I mean, if you've ever seen the Namco Museum collections, imagine all that shit, then all the newer stuff. Like, I've seen some of the newer, Pac-Man Championship games, where it's all lit up in neon, and like the actual arcade boards themselves, like where the buttons and the arcade sticker on, or like little Pac-Mans, and it's bad as shit. Like, I like those things a whole bunch. I'm hoping that they end up including the cocktail table style arcade machines, where, you know, every booth you actually have the cocktail table like actually built into it. I would love that so much. And I can imagine like some of the ones being built into the bar itself, since those are actually quite common in bars all over the United States and even all across the world and stuff. But I like ideas like this. I truly do. Considering the fact that I grew up going to arcades all the time and got to experience tons of shit for the first time there, and just kept on, like, my love for SNK, for example, came from going to arcades and stuff, and even places that weren't technically arcades, but they had arcade machines there. Like, I played on so many SNK MVS arcade machines, like, it's fucking ridiculous. And my love for on-rail shooters, for example, came from going to arcades and stuff. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've actually experienced things like House of the Dead through just going to the arcade. Like, the original one especially, since the one on Saturn, that one's just fucking rough around the edges to all shit. But, you know, like, up here, I have Point Blank and Time Crisis and stuff, like, and the reason is because I like those style of games, and beat 'em ups, again, I got into this all because of the arcade scene. Like, anytime I go to some kind of roller rink or something, like, with a whole bunch of classmates from school, I would end up spending more time, like, standing in my roller skates, going and playing random arcade games, because that's where I want to be at. You know, I like doing that. Anytime that I got to go up and sit there and play like the Simpsons arcade game, I had a big smile spread across my face, because the Simpsons was the shit back then, and beat 'em ups, it's fucking Konami. Oh my god, so much love. But I want to see more stuff like this. I know Capcom has themed restaurants too. I know that they have a Resident Evil one. You have no idea. I would love to be able to just get a plane ticket, fly over there just to experience that. It just, oh man, that'd be so fucking cool. But I'm hoping to see more things like this end up jumping up in popularity and more people going to them, because it's fucking cool. That's just a fact of the matter, is an idea like this is cool. You can get really kick-ass food, you can get a kick-ass like gaming experience. I'm hoping that they keep the cost of the arcade machines like kind of low, because that's one of the things that ends up deterring a lot of people, I notice, is they're just thinking like, I have to pay how many dollars for that? Fuck that shit. You know, so keep the cost low. Yeah, everything a quarter. You have no idea how many people will just continuously keep on plugging tons of quarters into something like that. Oh, man. Anyway, I was happy about this. I thought it'd be kind of cool to go and share it. So, Chicago, be prepared. Level 257 will be coming. So, Namco Bandai goodness will be awaiting you and stuff. And incredible flailing arm two-man emporium. Fuck, I fucked up the word a bit. I can't even remember it now. It's Family Guy. Anyway, so just want to go and tell you all about that because I thought it was awesome. So huzzah! Arcades, barcades, and everything in between. Get fucked up and play video games. That's the way to go and do it. Anyway, this is Alpha Omega Sin. As always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.